Hi and hello, I am Athena Pondian here. Welcome to the control system for the biomedical engineers classroom once again. Today we are going to start the next topic of the control system, that is we are just to go through the basics first of all. So in that we are going to see some of the important basics relating the control system. Yesterday we are just talking about the general thing about control system, what is system and what is control system and everything. The official definitions and the classifications, all the things we are going to discuss today. Come, let me start the class now. What is mean by the control system is, of course we know that what is system, a group of elements combined together to do some of the special or the particular function is called the system. See, of course we know that in the previous video itself we can able to say these are all the elements, a group of elements combined together to give the response, that is called as a system. So these are all the elements block, and this is the input or command variable, and this is output or the response. Okay, so these elements can be represented in the way of G of S. Okay, in our class we are going to represent the elements as G of S in all the systems. Okay, then so we can able to say that this is a system. Whether it is a controlled system or not, how we can able to prove is, see, of course we are going to give an input, then we can able to get the output according to the elements parameter and according to the elements functionality, the response can able to get. What is the proper definition for the control system is nothing but, of course we know that this particular thing is nothing but the output response, this is nothing but the input quantity. Okay, this output quantity is controlled by varying the input quantity, then the system is considered as the controlled system. The classifications of the control systems. So according to the system's functionality, the controlled system can be classified into two different types. One is open loop system and another one is closed loop system. What is loop actually? See, of course we know that this is the element. This is the control system. This particular direction indicates the forward path. Please remember. Forward path. Here there is no loop is there. Loop is nothing but it's starting from one point, end to the same point. It starts from one point and end towards on the same point. That is nothing but the loop. Okay. Here in our previous examples and on the basic examples, we don't have any loops. We are just having the forward path. The input is starting here and the output response is end here. Here there is no loop because it starts from one point and end towards the other point. The loop is nothing but, for example, if the system is look like this, then this is considered as the loop. Okay, this is considered as the loop. This particular system have one loop. And of course it have the forward path. Every system have the forward path, that is input and the output. In that particular system we have one loop. Okay. According to this particular feedback loop, we can able to classify the system as open loop and closed loop. Open loop system does not have any feedback path. It does not have any loop. It starts from the input and end towards the output. That is all. The closed loop system, we have the feedback signal. Whether it may be the feedback should may be here or it may be connected to here also. Wherever it may be. But it should have some of the feedback path. If the system have the feedback loop or the feedback path, then the systems are coming under the closed loop system. Of course we know that closed loop system is nothing but it having the feedback path. Okay, so here it is an input, it is an output, it is an element 1 and it is an element 2, and this is the feedback loop or feedback path. So here once we frame any system, any sort of system, we are already decided the response of the particular system. What is the input you need to give, and what is, according to the input, what is the response if the system can able to give. Everything the particular system manager know. Okay, so if you are framing the system like this, the response of the particular system is 10 numeric. For example, unit 10 is the response of this particular system. Whatever the input you are given, the 10 is the response of the particular system. Okay, then now if the system is functioning, suppose if the input is going to the first element, then the output of the element 1 is go to the input of the second element, then it will give the output. For example, the second element output is 8. We know that that is not a desired response. 10 is only the desired response of the particular system. So the system itself resembling that, the 8 is not our response. So we need to give 10. So for that, what the system can able to give is, the particular system should not send it to the output. The particular system send the signal to the input again through the feedback path. Okay, so this particular 8 should be travel again here. Then this particular system go as an input again here, till the response should become as 10. Once the response is coming as 10 here, then the signal should not be go to the feedback path. It is straight away come to the response. So we can able to get a desired response. The system itself automatically decide their response. The system itself automatically correct the response of the system. That systems are called as the closed loop system. If the systems are not corrected automatically, then the systems are called as the open loop system, because the systems are not able to correct it themselves, because the particular open loop system does not have any feedback path. So that is the use of this particular feedback path. Because of the presence of the feedback path here, the system response can be automatically corrected. Just see the example of this closed loop system. We know that voltage stabilizer. Voltage stabilizer is a common example for proving the closed loop system. What is the purpose of the voltage stabilizer? It will, whatever the input it may be, if there is any fluctuations, whatever the input it may be to the stabilizer, the output of the stabilizer is stable. Suppose we are connecting the voltage stabilizer to the fridge. The fridge required some of the current. We are already decided that into the stabilizer itself. That particular output value should be stable. Whatever the input it can able to acquire. For example, if there is any fluctuation in the current, if there is any fluctuation in the power, 230 volt, for example, this is the voltage stabilizer. The output should be 200 volt. Suppose unfortunately we are receiving 300 volt here. Unfortunately we are receiving 300 volt here. The voltage stabilizer controlled that and giving the response as 200 volt. Stable value, whatever the fluctuations the input can able to give us, but the output should be a stable one. So that is the purpose of closed loop system, because this particular voltage stabilizer having the feedback path. We are deciding that the voltage stabilizer should give a response first 200 volt. We already decided. So till the 200 should come, the particular output can be go as an input again and again and again till the 200 value should be come. So that is the best example. Voltage stabilizer, it is automatic. It is always giving the stable output. Whatever the input it may be, the stable output will be given by the voltage stabilizer because of the feedback path present in the voltage stabilizer. This is the best example we can able to say for closed loop system. Examples of the open loop system. See, of course, open loop system, the output should not be corrected automatically. That is the one point we need to remember. The best example of this, your TV remote. Manually, we need to give an input. It should not be automatically controlled. Whether it may be a volume or whether it may be you to change the channel or whatever it is, you need to give some of the manual input. It should not be automatically changed. Then your electric bulb, then your bread toaster, then your door lock systems, all the things need some of the manual input. It should not be corrected automatically the response. The response should not be corrected automatically in the open loop system. We need to control everything manually. So that is the best job that is given by the open loop systems. These are all the systems are also used in our daily life. Not only the closed loop systems is very useful. These are all the systems also used in our daily life. So according to the purpose and according to the needed, the particular system can able to vary. Okay, so this is the example of open loop system. Is the block diagram of closed loop system and open loop system. We are just recall everything. So this is this particular notations are resembling the open loop system. This particular thing is considered as a closed loop system because this open loop system should not have any feedback path. The output should not be corrected automatically. But here the closed loop system is having a feedback path. Because of the presence of the feedback path, the output can be corrected automatically. Okay, here the output should not be corrected automatically. Okay, in the open loop system. So here open loop system and the closed loop system both are considered as a controlled system. Okay, controlled system is nothing but the output can be controlled by varying the input. Okay, here the feedback path is especially for automatic correction. Okay, so please remember the difference between the open loop system and the closed loop system. So that's all about the today's class. Hope you understand what is the difference between the closed loop system and the open loop system. In the next class, we are going to see the next topic of the controlled system. Thank you.